Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Venerable Chief Naik Hamduro, Venerable Sirs, friends and children in the Dhamma, welcome for the first ever Dhamma talk in this 2022. We wish you all a blessed, happy New Year with success, with health, with happiness, and especially with protection. Venerable Chief Naik Hamduro suggested that we should resume the Saturday Dhamma talks in this year, and we are aspiring to continue. We hope to continue every Saturday 6 to 7 Dhamma talks based on the teachings of Lord Buddha, with topics based on different aspects of Dhamma. Today this Dhamma talk is related to a series of Dhamma talks we gave in 2021 based on the Bodhipakkhya Dhamma or Bodhipakshiya Dharma, which are called the assisting factors for enlightenment. We finished the series of Dhamma talks based on the 7 enlightenment factors. In our last talk, we introduced the characteristics, the qualities, the attributes of enlightenment factors. And today, our aim is to explain those factors one by one as our time is permitting us. Now, there are 7 factors of enlightenment. We call them in Pali Satta Bojjhanga Dhamma. Satta is 7. Bojjhanga is a compound term made with these 2 terms, Bodhi and Anga. Dhamma are the phenomena. Now, Bodhi signifies the enlightenment. Also, the one who is walking on the path for the enlightenment, and the one who attained to that enlightenment. So the person and also the state, both are called Bodhi. The person who attains the enlightenment and also the state of enlightenment are represented by the term Bodhi. Anga is a factor. Here, these 7 factors are the direct factors with the enlightenment. One who attained to enlightenment is consisting of these 7 factors. One who try for the enlightenment has to develop these 7 factors. Now, when you look at these 7 factors, in name, it begins with Sati, mindfulness. Sati Bojjhanga, that is the term you find in the suttas. Sati Bojjhanga. So, Sang is added in front of Bodhi and Anga. Sang, Bodhi, Anga, Bojjhanga. Sang indicates excellent. So the excellent factor of Sati in the enlightenment factors. So it begins with Sati, then comes the Dhamma Vichaya, investigating of phenomena, Dhamma Vichaya, Virya, energy or effort, Piti, joy or happiness, Pasaddhi, tranquility, Samadhi, concentration, and Upekha, equanimity. So, Sati, Dhamma Vichaya, Virya, Piti, Samadhi, Virya, Piti, Pasaddhi, Samadhi, Upekha. These are the 7 factors of enlightenment or enlightenment factors. As I said before, they are the qualities, attributes, characteristics of the one who has attained to enlightenment, or they are the practice mode of anyone who is aspiring to be enlightened. Let's have some details on these factors. The first one is Sati, mindfulness, awareness, attentiveness are the meanings, general meanings we can find for Sati. And the Sati is not just limited for these 7 enlightenment factors. You can find Sati in the Eightfold Noble Path, in the name Samma Sati, right mindfulness. Also as faculties, Indriyas. Among the 5 faculties, Sati Indriya is there, the faculty of Sati. Among the 5 powers, Sati is there as Sati Balang, power of Sati. And also in the Satipatthanas, among the foundation of mindfulness, Sati is the key factor. Likewise, Sati is representing many of the groups of practices related to enlightenment. It seems Sati is a kind of absolutely necessary factor that one should develop for enlightenment, for the achievement of liberation. Without sati, the other virtues are impossible to develop. Also, with sati, other virtues are naturally developed. So sati is suffice. Sati is enough to be developed so that the other virtues can be naturally following that sati. Now, sati translated to the general language, it means memory. Yeah, because sati is made out of, or sati in relationship with the word from Sanskrit called smruti. Smruti. Smruti directly gives the meaning which is to remember. And the root of sati and smruti is sar. Sar, meaning to remember. So in generally, our memory is sati. But in the Buddhist languages, in the Buddhist understanding, sati is not just a mere memory. Sati is to be mindful, to be aware. In another sense, if you really follow the exact meaning of sati, as I said before, to remember the truth, the present moment, the reality of the present moment as it is. Now, sati is something we all have in that general sense, not just related to the nibbana, but in the day-to-day life. Things we remember which are belong to past, basically due to the quality of sati we have within us. If we were not mindful of something at the moment something is happening, we will not remember it. Our forgetfulness is due to the reason when that was happening, we were not there. Mentally we were somewhere. So we cannot remember the things that happened. But for the enlightenment, what is the significance of remembering? It is to remember the wholesomeness. It is to remember the goodness, the virtuousness. It is to remember the attributes, the benefits of good qualities. If you remember, if you have to keep in mind the wholesomeness and their benefits, naturally you tend to engage in wholesome deeds. Your engagement in wholesome deeds is simply because you remember that wholesomeness. You are aware of that wholesomeness. But time to time, this wholesome memory bound to drift away from us. This fluttering mind go back to the habitual habit pattern of or natural tendencies of the mind. Go back to the natural way of life. What is the natural way of life? To hold, to grasp, not to let go. Natural tendency to hate, not to generate loving kindness. Natural tendency to be jealous, not to be altruistic. Natural tendency to be extreme, not to be moderate, not to be in the middle path. Natural tendency of the mind is akusala, unwholesome. To suppress, to get rid of these unwholesome tendencies, you have to remember, you have to be present to the wholesome qualities like unconditional love, generosity, compassion, altruistic joy, equanimity. These beautiful qualities should be remembered and let them work upon your memory, your mind. Then those unwholesome traits, unwholesome tendencies are suppressed at those moments. Your deeds are the resultants of your memory of the wholesomeness. Sati, in a general sense. In the Buddhist sense, to remember the wholesomeness. So if somebody develops this remembering, this mindfulness on wholesomeness, gradually, little by little, that sati becomes stronger and stronger and start to function as a inner mentor, inner advisor to remove a person from misdeeds, misbehavior, ill conduct, and engage in noble, right, wholesome conduct and behavior. That sati itself is enough for that person to behave in such a noble, virtuous manner. No other teacher is necessary. The teacher is there within them. During the first 20 years of Buddha's ministry, Buddha did not promulgate many precepts to control his monastic order. The monastic order was self-controlled. They were behaving, they were living in such a accurate, such a wholesome, correct method, correct way. Because as they entered the order, Buddha advised them, follow the path of mindfulness. Practice sati. Practice awareness. And as they practiced awareness, as they continue to develop awareness, gradually, naturally, they become unblemished. They become blameless. Their behavior is naturally corrected because of their practice in sati. And this sati, this mindfulness, to be an enlightenment factor, one has to direct this mindfulness to the four aspects of life. These four aspects of life, which is in this physical body itself, is enough. Is enough to develop oneself to achieve the enlightenment. What are these four aspects? The physical body itself, the postures of the physical body, the contents of the physical body, to be mindful of them. We call that mindfulness, we call that sati, kaya anupassana sati. Kaya anupassana. Anupassana, observing accordingly the physical, this corporeal body. Physical body is the first object to be mindful. When you are sitting, you are mindful of your sitting. The way your legs are, the way your hands are. Are you relaxed in that posture? You are being mindful. So also when you are standing, walking, lying down, or whatever you are doing, you are absolutely mindful of it. And going deeper, you are being mindful of the parts and parcels of the body. There are 32 parts that consist of this body. You separate these parts in your understanding. Then it helps you to generate certain loathsomeness, certain dislike towards the life itself, towards this body. Your attraction to the body could be gone with that. Then comes the second object of meditation, that is Vedana anupassana. Vedana, feelings. Anupassana, observing. Observing the sensations, the feelings that are happening in the body. With the contact or without contact. Other than the hair, nail, teeth and the bone structure. Every part, every piece of our body, every cell of our body is vibrating with a certain feeling. When the mind is not cultivated, developed with meditation, we understand only the gross, rough kind of feelings. The subtle feelings, subtle sensations are not something we can understand without meditation. Only in the meditation we understand that every particle of the body, every cell of this body is vibrating with a different kind of feeling. Now one who develop understand in the feelings, he develops that these feelings are arising, vanishing, moment to moment, moment to moment. No feelings, no any kind of feeling. There is no any kind of feeling that exists same as for so long. It is changing. It is momentary. Now this observation of the feelings that arise and vanish in the body, Vedana Anupassana. Then going deeper, the third object of meditation, object of Sati, that is Chittanupassana. To observe itself, to observe the one who is observing, mind itself, consciousness itself can be observed with this gradual sharpening of the mind, beginning with the most obvious object, which is the body, move to the sensations, then going deeper to the consciousness itself. When the consciousness, types of consciousness are arising, he sees that arising consciousness. He observes the persisting consciousness. And that pattern of consciousness as they vanish, he is observing. Then he goes deeper and deeper to the fourth stage, fourth object of meditation, which is Dhammanupassana, observing the contents of the mind. Observing the Dhamma that arises in the mind. Kaya, Vedana, Chitta, Dhamma. Form, feelings, mind, mental factors. These are the practice ground. We call in Pali Kammatthana. Kammatthana, the practice ground for the Sati, for the mindfulness to patthana, to establish the mindfulness. The practice ground are these. Now this establishment supports, assists the meditator to develop both concentration and insight. Both asana and samatha meditation is happening. Because vipassana cannot exist without samatha. So samatha and vipassana both are happening in this practice. Now this is the development of the enlightenment factor. It is not just remembering. It is to remember the contents of the body so that you develop a certain dispassion towards the body. You understand the impermanence in the body, anicca. You understand the suffering is there in the body, dukkha. You also understand anatma, non-self in the body. Based on this development, So when that sati is established in you, it becomes an enlightenment factor. Enlightenment factor which helps the person to continue to reduce this recurring process of birth and death. The second enlightenment factor is Dhamma Vichaya. Dhamma Vichaya Sambojjhanga. Dhamma we know it is phenomena in a general sense, but in a specific sense, Dhamma is what the Buddha taught. But here in Dhamma Vichaya, Dhamma doesn't mean what the Buddha taught, but phenomena. What kind of phenomena? Meditative phenomena. Meditative experiences together with the object of meditation. Now somebody may be practicing samatha. If someone practices samatha, he has to select an object to practice. As I said before, object of meditation is kammatthana. Kammatthana. Generally translated, kammatthana is work field or field of work. Kammatthana, where you work. But here, kammatthana is specifically on the objects of meditation. Now there are number of objects of meditation are presented in Buddhism. Buddha has given them to us. Dasa kasina, dasa asubha, dasa anusatiya. 10 kasinas, dasa asubha, 10 kinds of foulness, dasa anusati, 10 kinds of reflections, chattaro arupa, 4 kinds of immaterials, there are 40 objects of meditations are given. When a meditator observed, selected according to his temperament, according to his charita, charita is temperament, whether he is a raga charita, lustful, dosa charita, hateful, moha charita, deluded, vitaka charita, discursive, saddha charita, faithful, buddhi charita, intellectual. In accordance with his temperament, a master would suggest him a kind of meditation for him to continue. Now, in this development of meditation, when he is practicing, now 2 aspects are there. The object of meditation is there, and also the meditative development are there. As he is practicing, there are certain kind of development happening within him. If the meditator happens to not to investigate the object of meditation as well as his development in meditation, he is bound to get unnecessarily attached, unnecessarily grasping that object as well as his development in meditation. Dhamma Vichaya investigation of phenomena is nothing but to have a clear, purified, clarified, comprehensive knowledge, comprehensive understanding on the object as well as his development in meditation. So Dhamma Vichaya impact is nothing but the development of wisdom, the development of Panya is Dhamma Vichaya. Now, we have seen Panya or wisdom is presented in many other groups of practices as faculties, as powers. Panya is presented, but here in the 7 enlightenment factors, instead of Panya, Lord Buddha gives us a very technical term called Dhamma Vichaya. Because these 7 enlightenment factors are directly related to a meditator. A meditator, as he develops in meditation, what kind of approach he must have towards his own practice are explained by these 7 factors. 7 factors of enlightenment are nothing but the development of a meditator. This is the meditator's practice ground. It begins with the remembering his practice, remembering his meditation, remembering his focus area. And then the second one, investigating, clearly comprehending what he is focusing. You can see the link. First one is to remember, keep in mind, not to forget, but to be always mindful of the object that he is concentrating. Then in the second, he has to understand clearly as it is what he is concentrating. He has to understand as it is what is going on within him as he is concentrating. You see the sequence now. Because if you are to be blind with your development in meditation, you are on the wrong track. Instead of being comprehended, you are becoming blinded by the development of your meditation. Also, you have to understand your object of meditation in every aspect. Both these are to happen with the Dhamma Vichaya Bojjhanga, enlightenment factor of Dhamma Vichaya, investigation of phenomena. So these 7 enlightenment factors that we will be explaining are nothing but the development of a meditator, and also what kind of approaches he has to make towards his practice are explained here. The third factor of enlightenment is virya, virya sambojjhanga, enlightenment factor of effort or energy. This effort, this energy, again not related to anything else as enlightenment factor. It is about how he develops his practice. Neither too forcefully nor being too relaxed, but based on the middle path, based on the equilibrium. You continue practicing, taking care of your physical body, you take care of your spiritual body without giving too much pain to the physical body, no giving too much force over your spiritual body. You continue your practicing. Continuing, but in the middle path. Effort. How to put the right effort on your practice is something you have to learn sometimes with your own experience. But during the Buddha's time, it so happened some monks, when they were ordained, they were so excited. They want to get enlightened immediately. So they forced themselves, physically torturing and mentally being forceful. They forced themselves to practice, and it so happened, instead of achieving any beneficial result, they moved away from the object, away from the goal. So the effort, virya, should be handled carefully. When it is too much, you become agitated, restless. When it is too relaxed, then you lose your concentration. So have to keep it in the middle. Buddha compared this to a veena, a musical instrument. If the strings are too tight, no music will emanate out of that instrument. So also, if the strings are too loose, same thing, no music. The music happens when the strings are neither too loose nor too tight. So also the effort into the practice must be in a moderate sense. Now, effort in the ethical sense, general sense, Buddha has classified as 4. Uppannānaṁ akusalānaṁ dhammānaṁ pahānāya. To pahānāya, to abolish, to destroy the arisen, unwholesome dhammas, arisen, evil dhammas. Arisen evilness should be destroyed. You must have the effort for that. Anuppannānaṁ akusalānaṁ dhammānaṁ anupādāya. For non-genesis of the unarisen evilness within you, there must be effort. Uppannānaṁ kusalānaṁ dhammānaṁ bhiyo bhavaya. For the augment, for the flourish of your arisen wholesome qualities. The effort. Anupannanang kusalanang dhammanang upadaya. For the genesis, for the augmentation, for the arising of your unarisen wholesome qualities. So if the bad is there, you must have the effort to suppress them. If there are bad qualities you don't have, you must have the effort not to let them come up, to suppress them, not to have them, because you know they are bad. If you have a good quality, you must have the effort to flourish them, to develop them, because you will be more developed, and beyond the world because of that good quality. If you don't have a certain good quality, you must have the effort to develop that good quality. The beginning of a year is a great time for such a effort. This is the time we can generate a certain resolution in our heart that in this year I will generate this quality within me. I will suppress this bad quality. I will get rid of this bad quality from me. I will develop this good quality in me. In this year, I will have this quality within me. Such an effort to be used, to be utilized in the beginning of a new year is ideal. So today I explained to you 3 kinds of enlightenment factors out of the 7 enlightenment factors. Sati, Dhamma Vichaya, and Virya. Sati helps us to be mindful as an enlightenment factor, helps to be mindful of the 4 aspects of vipassana: body, feelings, mind, mental factors. And Dhamma Vichaya helps us to comprehend and have a comprehensive knowledge on the object of meditation and the development within us. This comprehensive knowledge is so vital for us not to be distracted, not to create attachments, and not to get stuck with our object of meditation or with the development of meditation. And that meditation is supported by the virya, the effort to continue to practice without being too intense, which causes for the disturbances, also without being too relaxed. In a moderate level, in an equilibrium, effort must be applied for that meditation to be developed. That's enough for today. Again, we wish you a happy, joyful and healthy New Year. And let's have this aspiration that the merits that we generated by listening, by sharing this Dhamma, be a support, be an assistant, be an energy for us to have a happy, joyful New Year for us and also for all our beloved ones here and in our mother country. May these merits be rejoiced by the Devas and by our departed ones. May their present existences become blissful, happy and peaceful by the power of these merits. May the Devas and our departed ones be rejoiced with these merits, and may they be blessed with the final liberation of Nibbana, the Shya merits. Akasatta cha bummatta devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu lokasasanam. Akasatta cha bummatta devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu lokasasanam. Akasatta cha bummatta devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu lokasasanam. Idang me ñātinang hotu sukhita hontu ñātayo. Idang me ñātinang hotu sukhita hontu ñātayo. Idang me ñātinang hotu sukhita hontu ñātayo. A blessing for you. Dukkha roga bhaya vera soka sabbe upaddava anekāntarāya pi vinassantu ca tejasa jaya siddhi dhanang labang sati bhagyan sukam balang siriya yuchavanno ca bhogang uddhi ca yasava satavassa ca yucha jiva siddhi bhavantu te. Ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti iminate samijjato. Sadhu